Hey guys, welcome back to My Hobby Workshop. Today I'll be tackling the 1938 custom Ford van by Lindberg. This is a 1/24th scale kit at a skill level of 3. Let's crack this thing open and see what's inside. So the body for this kit actually comes in two different pieces. You have your doors, your roof, and your trunk in one solid piece, and then your second piece is going to be your side steps and your fenders. That way you can get the interior in, and then the side steps and the fenders will lock everything in place. The next piece is going to be your hood, your grille, and your dashboard. I will say that this kit is not very detailed and the dash is very basic. The next tree is going to have your interior pieces, which have 2 bucket seats and what looks like carpet molding, and also some suspension pieces. The next tree is going to show off your engine and a little bit more of your suspension parts as well. The next tree is your chassis, and then it has your 4 springs. The next tree is showing off your very basic firewall along with your other part of your chassis. And here's the chrome tree, shows you your rims and some other chrome pieces like your tailpipes. The only clear parts in this kit are going to be your headlights, and your windshield. And I also wanted to show off the low profile tires that come with the kit in case you decide to build this. They're actually really nice and not bad, but I won't be going this route. And then also is the decal kit if you decide to do box stock. It has that flame looking decal on the hood and side, and then Dan's auto parts. So let's start doing some pre-assembly. So as you can see, I got most of the chassis done, front suspension and rear suspension. I don't know if I'll be able to fit it all with the tires I want to use on, but I did prep everything just so I can get it painted in case we do decide to use it. Very basic pieces, not a lot of detail in this kit at all. Got everything pretty much for the most part on the engine that I can. Everything will be painted one color for the shadows. And then I also wanted to show you how the body goes on. So it fits on really well, but you can't put it all together to get it painted because obviously you can see there the interior wouldn't fit in, so I have to keep it separate and then get everything primed and painted. Let's get everything over to the booth and start laying some paint. So after everything was dry, I went in and hand painted the parts on the engine and motor that I needed to hand paint, like the belts, the pulleys, things of that nature. I also attached the headers and the engine cover on the front. As you can see, because of that big engine cover on the top, you're not going to be able to get a lot of detail out of this motor, so I was going to wire it up, but it really didn't make sense. After the engine was done painted, I attached the drive shaft and everything to the chassis, and after doing some test fitting, I did have to remove the suspension on the front like I figured I would. So I had to cut off what I needed, and I'll just touch that up, and honestly the tires will cover it, but I'll still touch it up just in case. After I was done with that, I attached the interior parts all together, the 2 bucket seats, the stick shift, and that back glass window, I guess, where the cargo van would be. And I used future floor polish on the seats to give it that vinyl leathery look. That way it just kind of differentiated from the carpet. Next was to attach the windshield to the actual body, and I used Mod Podge for that. It dries really easy and dries clear, so I just use a little toothpick to get in the corners and then let it dry. So to spruce up the interior a little bit, I used a chrome Molotov pen to give the dashboard a little bit of a silver chrome look. I also used it on the steering wheel and the floor pedals as well, just to kind of make it look a little bit different so not everything's just all black. After I attached the dashboard and the steering wheel, then I was able to push the interior into the vehicle and get it all glued and ready to go. So with additional test fitting, I realized I was able to salvage the front springs, so I did attach those just for a little bit more detail in the model, and that way it just gives it a little bit better of a look. Next, I finished up the rest of the work on the body by attaching the firewall, the fenders, and the grille. The last thing I needed to work on with the chassis were the exhaust pipes that fed into the headers. They went in really well, but as you can see, they connect to the side of the chassis, and they did not want to sit there very smoothly. So I kind of had to make it work, but I was able to get them to stay. As I usually like to do, I like to go over my last parts of the model before I show you off the final assembly. So the last thing I was able to do with the chassis was finish off the last of the tailpipes. I had to drill out the little holes in the back so kind of give it that look of that they were actually real, and then I was able to attach them. They were a little difficult to do, but again, it wasn't that bad, so I was able to pull that off, and it came out pretty good. So the last thing I needed to do on the body was attach the headlights, which I was able to do, and I think this came out looking really good so far and really sharp, so I'm excited to see what it's going to look like as it's mounted together and the tires are all on. And the tires I'm actually using out of an old NASCAR kit. I wanted it to have that aggressive look with some big slicks on there, and I think these were going to look really good on it, so I decaled them up, detailed them, and I think they're going to look pretty good. I did flat coat them, so it gives them that little bit of a realistic look to them. So last steps are to attach the chassis to the body and then get the tires mounted, and this thing is good to go. So let me go work on that, and then I will show you the final review and my final thoughts on the kit. Hey everyone, well that's going to do it for this kit. I had a really good time building this. I've never done a Lindberg kit before, and it went together really well. It was very basic, very simple, especially with the colors that I decided to go with. There really wasn't much to do. I was afraid it was going to be a little bit maybe too plain, but I was really going for that aggressive, just mean look, and I think it hit the mark, especially with the tires the way they are. I think it looked really, really good. One thing I do want to mention is I did flat coat the body with Rust-Oleum flat, and the flat that I used on the tires to give it that realistic look is Tester's Spray Lacquer Dull Coat. If you use Rust-Oleum on the tires, they will get tacky and kind of destroy them. So if you do decide to spray coat the tires to kind of make them look like that rubber, then use the Tester's Spray Coat Lacquer. It really helps out. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking all my videos. Definitely appreciate it. If you did like this video, please hit that button. It definitely helps get it out and lets other people see it. And if you like the content so far, please hit the subscribe button. I got plenty more coming, and I apologize I haven't had many videos out lately. I've just been very busy, and editing does take a little bit of time. So I am working on some more kits. I'll get some stuff out soon. So until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.